Hey guys, how's it going? Today I have another upgrade for my Rustler. It's been a while since I've had another upgrade on this, but, well, last weekend in the mail I ordered this. If you don't know what this is a brushless system. I finally have a brushless system for my TRAXXAS Rustler. This is the Castle Creation Sidewinder sv3, and the sv3 is waterproof, which is the same as the Valineon, which is what I wanted to get. However, this I got for $100. So when the Valineon is like $180 or whatever it is now, this is $100, and I was like, well, geez, I am definitely going to get this. The motor I got was the 4600 kV, and I guess there's nothing else to do but to go ahead and start uninstalling the old XL5 system. Alright, so let's go ahead and start taking this stuff apart. We need to unhook the receiver, the ESC plug that goes into the receiver. Alright, just like that, just pulls right out. And now we're going to unscrew the ESC. Just two screws holding this down, on this side and one on the other. Now what I plan to do with this system is take it out and put it in my Stampede, which is one reason why I wanted to go ahead and get that brushless system. And then there are two wires back here that plug the motor into the ESC, and we're just going to pull those apart. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take off this back wheel. I've already loosened up the nut a little bit just to make it quicker. And we're going to take this tire and just put it under here as a little stand. Okay. And now we're going to take this nut, which I've also already unscrewed mostly, and just unscrewed enough so that this cover comes off. There we go. And now you can't see the other one, but there's another screw down there. We need to remove that one as well as this one, and then the motor actually come out of the transmission. Now if you have a bigger pinion gear than this, which I have a pretty small one on here, you'll have to take that off because then it won't fit through this little nut or this little hole. But since mine's small enough, it can actually just fit right through. So I'm going to go ahead and take the motor out. Okay, so I got the motor loosened up all the way, and it'll just slide out just like that. There's the old motor. And since I already unscrewed the ESC, we'll just pull these wires out here, and the ESC will come off. Awesome, there we go. Now, of course, before we install the brushless system, we have to open it. Okay, let's begin. Again, I'm really so excited about this. This is one thing that I've just always been wanting to get, and I've always put off just because, I guess because of the price. And this really just helps with that. It's being only $100. It's just awesome. Now, I've heard people saying the waterproof isn't very good, and I've heard people saying that I think it's the ESC that overheats a lot. So we'll see about that. I'll probably get since motor and ESC are kind of green, I'll probably get a blue anodized heatsink for the motor, and I don't know what I'll do about the ESC, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and get the motor open first. Okay, so. Okay. Alright, so we got some foam, of course. And there's the motor. I believe this is a 540 size can. It looks smaller than the 550. We got some hardware and connectors. And go ahead and just... let's just go ahead and pull it out. Okay, so there's the motor. Feels about the same as a little bit. I don't know. It feels actually really close to the old motor. And the wires, geez, look at that. What is that? 8, 9 inches? That's crazy. The ESC does come without connectors for plugging into the battery, so I'll have to solder some of those up. It is a 4-pole brushless motor, and yeah, I'll be able to reuse the spur gear and everything. So awesome. Let's go ahead and open up the ESC. Now this can run up to 3S LiPo. I think I already said that. So I can use the batteries that I got from my Slash. Here we got instructions, which I'll take a look at later off camera. And there we go. Let's just go ahead and pull this out. Okay. There we go. Okay, so, oh, don't forget that. Okay, so, hardware again. And here's this. So we got the on switch. The wires actually, well, that's really cool. The wires here for soldering, they're actually already tinned, which means when you're soldering, you're supposed to put a little bit of solder into the wire before you actually solder the two pieces together. And they already tinned it, which is really cool. And now, of course, there's no brackets to hold down the ESC to the plate. So I'll probably just take some wire, run it through these fins right here, and make it so that it will be able to bolt down to the stock ESC mounting plate. And I know they do sell the mounting plate for this, but I don't have that and I don't need it because I can make something. Alright, let's go ahead and start installing it onto the car. Alright, so I remembered I can't install the pinion gear on because I'm putting in a bigger one since it has more power, and this won't be able to fit through there. So I have to put in the motor first before I actually attach the pinion gear. So just like the old one came out, this one just slides in, and then there's two screws, pretty small, there they are. Okay, and I'll just have to line the screws up and bolt them in. Okay, there we go. The motor is now installed, and I remember to, if you have to do this, just remember to point the wires kind of towards the shock tower here. Just make sure that the wires aren't pointed out back or anything, so that they won't get caught on rocks or be broken off, which would be really bad. So off camera, I was thinking about how I can mount up the ESC here, and what I did was I made this little bracket out of this wire, okay? And there's a little bracket here. It takes two screws, one there, and as you can see, there's a screw missing out of the rear shock tower, and that actually helps hold down the ESC. So I line this up here. You can see that there's one hole there. I'll put a screw in there and take that and screw that in there. So I've already screwed it down and it holds on really good. And the reason why these wires are so long is that there's no wires from the ESC to the motor. It's just the motor straight to the ESC. So it's not as long as I thought, which I'm glad about. And of course, once I'm finished putting this on, I'll have to take this off and go solder some connectors on. Again, I won't film that. So let's go ahead and screw these down. Okay, so there you can see it. Well, you can't see it super great, but there it is. It's in there. A little loose, but not at all up and down. So we're going to go ahead and attach the wires. Now, I looked at it and there wasn't any signals down here at all, and I looked in the manual and they said that the wires, doesn't matter which one go into which hole. So I guess I'll just plug them in. Hopefully this doesn't mess it up. And they said if I have to, I'd have to switch two of any wires if when I press throttle it goes in reverse. So just like that, there we go. And as you can see, wires aren't too long. I'll probably have to take some zip ties or something just to keep these down from rubbing up against the body. There we go, you can see it. But now I'm going to take this and I'm going to plug this into the ESC. Channel 2 right here. Just plug that in, just like that. And I'll also have to mount the switch here. And I was looking, now I won't mount it on this side, but there's another side right here with this piece of plastic. I'll probably mount it over there. And to mount that, I'll probably take some tape or something, I don't know yet, and mount it. But there we go. I will film myself turning it on and adjusting it. but I have to take this ESC off right now, and I have to go and solder the connectors onto it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, there we go. I got the connector on, and I did a fantastic job soldering. I'm very proud of myself compared to the batteries that I did. So there we go. The ESC motor's all set up to go. I can plug a battery in, set it up, which I'm going to do next. And since I attached a Dean's here, and I don't have a connector from a TRAXXAS connector to a Dean's, I will just have to plug in one of the lipos and see how it works. And I'll look through the manual first to just make sure I know how to do it. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and calibrate the ESC. I've read the instruction. I'm just looking at it again while I film so that I make sure that I'm doing it right. So they're saying plug a battery in, which I am doing. Okay, now they say to turn the transmitter on and hold full speed here, and then turn the switch on to the green light. Okay, so yeah, those lights are on. Okay, so I pressed the speed and it wants to go backwards, so I'll have to take off two of these wires. Let's see here, and I probably should turn it off. Well, there we go, guys. My old Rustler XL5 is now a VXL thanks to the Castle Creations sv3. Super excited to use this. Thanks for watching so much. Remember to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.